Finally, after 2 days of work, I've completed it. The official Minimax Seed Hunter workflow.
Sometimes I just come out here to relax and kill slimes. I really need to get a life.
This one vastly outperforms my previous Minimax workflow and is far more organized. What this workflow does is quickly generates anywhere from 1 to 3 lower resolution preview gens, and then asks you to select which of those previews you'd like the most, taking the chosen latent to an upscale finalization step. This means you can generate up to 3 shots at, let's say, 0.5 megapixels in just a couple of minutes, pick your favorite out of them, and then upscale it to 2 megapixels or 1080p. This workflow uses the FL2VA model only, because when plugged into the Ref2VA node, it functions like both models combined. The quality of FL2VA, but with the functionality of Ref2VA. You're just going to have to trust me on that one. And at any time you can switch it out with the Ref2VA model, of course, they're both compatible. This workflow also uses several nodes that aren't in the Comfy registry, meaning you won't be able to use Comfy Manager to automatically download them. You'll have to manually install them by downloading and placing them in your /custom_nodes folder, or use the git clone command. I have instructions and links to every resource here in the workflow itself. Once everything's installed, choose your options in the workflow. I personally like Comfy Kitchen Attention and the new Sparse Attention. There are many options here, and I'll be talking about some of them more in depth later in the video. Begin by selecting all of your video settings here in this green prompting area. Select first pass steps, your video's aspect ratio, length, and write your prompt. Next, we head down to our yellow references area. This is where we'll select our images, audio, and video references. They're all easy to toggle on and off. You can even crop and choose max resolutions for each image right here in the nodes themselves. After that, head up to the bright green button that says Manual Random Seed. This will generate a new seed value for the first pass gens to use. If you see a red outline appear around RAI for final video, don't worry, they're just fake errors telling you that no data will be passed to them yet. Keep in mind that previews generate in a random new order every time you start Comfy UI. So it may generate number 2 first, then number 3, and then number 1. It's avoidable based on how Comfy UI was programmed. Anyway, after the first pass finishes, right-click on one of the previews and choose Sync Preview to see them all side by side. Then, select which of them you liked best using the option toggle above. Afterwards, click Enable on the Final Upscale Pass toggle. You will see all of the upscale options appear, and you'll want to make sure they're to your liking. You can select a mode to upscale by multiplier, which is the workflow's default, and I typically like setting that to 1.5x or 2x. You can also go by target megapixels, choosing anywhere from 1.0 to 2.0. You'll also want to decide how many upscale steps to use. 3 is a good default if you're using turbo LoRa's, otherwise 5 is better. Once you're done picking options, click on the red Manual Random Seed button above to begin your final upscale pass. This will take your selected latent from stage 1 and process it. If you haven't changed anything that would affect stage 1, your latent will pass directly from memory to this finalization step. If your stage 1 gens start to regen, that means you must have changed something between then and now, such as a prompt setting or video length or base setting, something previous to the first sample pass. Okay, when your finalization is done, your final upscaled video will pop out and voila.
For fuck's sake, another one?
One special option I like is Forced Custom Audio. This option will use whatever's loaded into Audio 1 and make it take over the entire gen's audio latent. Minimax will listen to your custom audio and determine what to do based on your prompt. You can use this for lines of dialogue you already have the files for, or to synchronize music / lip syncing with the visual action on screen. Another option is Rife frame interpolation, which will take your 24 FPS gen up to 48 or even 60 frames per second. You can set your target FPS in the Rife group. Single pass. This is for when you just want your gen to finalize from the first stage alone. Basically, this is for when you need a one and done, and don't want to switch to another workflow to do it. You'd disable the second and third first pass gen previews, set your steps higher for the first pass than usual, and then enable this option. It will do everything but the upscale pass and then proceed to the finalized video output. You can enable a specific LoRa that is only active during the upscale pass. This might be useful for those of you who want to do the first pass with no turbo LoRa, but then upscale with a turbo LoRa, such as the 4-step. The workflow's default settings are 6 steps on the first pass and 3 steps for the final upscale pass, using the 8-step turbo LoRa. This produces good results for most applications. For intense action shots, maybe choose 8 steps for the first pass and 4 steps upscale for a better result. The higher the total steps, the more you may want to consider lowering the strength of your turbo LoRa to perhaps 0.8 or 0.7. And if you wish to use no turbo LoRa, I think 12 steps for the first pass with 4 or 5 steps upscale pass yields great results. As for upscaling, I find that the 2x latent upscale on a 0.3 megapixel gen is fast and yields a good quality result. A 2x upscale on a 0.5 megapixel first pass yields 1080p, but it can take some time. There's also a good argument to be said about maybe 0.6 megapixels first pass with a 1.5x upscale pass. This makes your initial gen stronger so that the upscale doesn't have to fudge as many details. Play with the values yourself to find what works best for your use case. Other quick tips that I want to include. First, clicking Hide Links here at the bottom right corner of Comfy UI. My workflow can look a bit like spaghetti if you keep links on. Another thing is, if you're getting a bunch of extra files in your output folder, go into your Comfy settings, into your VHS node config, and turn off these top 2 options. You're welcome. Okay, well that's about it. Enjoy Minimax, enjoy the workflow, and let me know if there's anything you would like to see added to it. It's a bit of a Leviathan already as it is, so I'm only going to take the best of the best suggestions.